What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, we've got to talk about some very significant news surrounding the entire Jurassic Park franchise. After some recent filings from Universal, it's just been revealed that Jurassic World Dominion from 2022 is now officially the most expensive movie ever made. And this information is pretty wild for a lot of different reasons, but there's also a small update on the sequel to Jurassic World Rebirth and the general direction everything else in the Jurassic Park world is about to go in. Okay, so just for a general update on everything relevant right off the bat, the Jurassic Park River Adventure will be reopened in November. It is not undergoing any sort of Jurassic World re-theme, and it's actually supposed to be revitalizing the Jurassic Park era and brand. The recent Crichton estate issues seem to be all cleared up, and I can imagine Universal may want to deep dive into this whole side of the franchise in the very near future. But as far as Jurassic World Dominion is concerned, look, apparently they were still paying for things in the movie like literally years after it had come out, and I don't know if this is a normal practice, but with some information that dates back to December 31st of 2024, this stuff showed that the costs were around $74.9 million, which brought the total cost of Jurassic World Dominion to be $658.8 million. There's a lot of headlines going around right now that say that the movie cost 10 times more than the original Jurassic Park, and that it passed Star Wars and even the Avatar films as far as production costs go. Now, sadly, the big issue with all of this information is that Dominion seems to have lost money for Universal. If you take the $1 billion box office and cut that number in half so that the 50-50 split is given to the movie theaters, and then you get rid of Universal's $531 million outlay, and I'm just going off of what this article says, it looks like the movie lost around $31 million. The article does go on to say that the revenue from stuff like merchandise, I guess toys, Blu-rays, streaming stuff, that probably helped them out a little bit, but Jurassic World Dominion unfortunately did not bring in enough money to justify its gigantic price tag. Now, if we're honest with this whole situation, it's a little unfair because Dominion was filming in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, so obviously a lot of stuff hurt the production and made the film cost more than it should have. Also, that movie was delayed by a whole year, so I'm sure that didn't help either. But look, Jurassic World Rebirth was sort of forced to soldier on and make a follow-up on a much cheaper budget, and while it did not reach the $1 billion mark, it also didn't lose the company $31 million. So the verdict is kind of official on the battle between the two as far as profitability goes. It looks like Jurassic World Rebirth is the clear winner. Speaking of Rebirth, David Koepp recently spoke about the follow-up and mentioned that they were still actively developing the story right now. I know a lot of people have been talking about Rebirth being the start of a new trilogy, but David also addressed this by saying the following: you can't say trilogy. You gotta make one good movie. So now what about another good movie? How would we do that? I think that the challenge of Rebirth was the franchise has become very big, very spread out. Let's make the dinosaurs special again by restricting them. So we restricted them to this thing, and then the challenge becomes, okay, now how do we logically and in a scientifically believable way expand? That would be the question. If somebody can answer that, I think you'll have the next movie. Now, this sort of honest hesitancy is actually one of the reasons I really like David Koepp, because he's just straight up telling the truth. Like, yeah, we need to work on making things better than they have been, and we need to make it both logically and consistent and scientifically believable to a degree. There's also just people in general that are saying like everything's written by AI, every new thing is slop, every new thing is garbage. And look, I'm one of the people that is definitely of the camp that new Hollywood movies are not as good as they used to be, and like everybody knows where I come at with this stuff, but I gotta be real with y'all. A lot of this rhetoric has been pushed way too far, to the point to where if you ask me which one is better, Jurassic World Rebirth and Jurassic World Dominion, it doesn't matter by how much better. Like the difference to me is like the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Like one is clearly superior to the other. We can talk about like the film's general reception and everything like that. I'm just at the point where I'm like, hey, it feels like 2022 never ended. Like, why are we still having this discussion? And I don't know, man. Like, it looks like he is standing by Rebirth and saying like, look, we did the best we can do and now we're trying to do one that's even better. I I like that, and I won't lie, I do want it to be logically consistent and scientifically believable to a degree. So yeah, the idea that the movie is taking its time and I'd say struggling to nail the ideas is a bit worrying to me. I do want to see them do this franchise to the best of their abilities, and while I genuinely do think Rebirth is the better film when compared to Dominion, I still want something more akin to Jurassic Park or The Lost World at the end of the day. There's an article online that sums everything up in a very data-driven way, saying critics were split, audiences were not. The movie turned into one of 2025's biggest hits and proved dinosaurs still pack theaters. And keep in mind, it was the first time the series was nominated for a visual effects Oscar since The Lost World Jurassic Park. So Universal is not going to let that go either. But what does a sequel to Rebirth realistically look like? Do you open the movie up with Scarlet and the rest of the surviving people all out at sea, running out of fuel and trying to survive against the Mosasaurus? Or do you just open up in New York City or somewhere else where things can just take off from there after they've gotten away through some sort of dialogue exposition sort of dump? I think with how expensive Jurassic World Dominion was to make and how much of a difference Rebirth seems to have been for them, especially on a money level, they definitely need to play their cards right. Now, with Jurassic Park Survival on the horizon, that is something that they could use to cross-promote the new movie, especially if it's centered around some lore from the Michael Crichton era, you know, Isla Sorna, Las Cinco Mortes, San Diego, Europe. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but in the end, no real direction is known just yet. It doesn't look like they've developed any real plot, but Gareth Edwards is who I would expect to still be in the saddle waiting for his round 2 with Jurassic. Still, there's rival dinosaur projects like The End of Oak Street and Dinosaurs of the Wild West on the horizon. Jurassic Park needs to get its act together and show them who the king of the box office and audiences' hearts really is. But in order to do that, they need to go above and beyond expectations. The landscape in 2028, which is now 2 years out and more or less when I think we can expect the next movie, that landscape could be crippled by a devastated movie theater experience where the competition may have completely gone extinct. No Star Wars movie to fight it, no Avatar movie, no MCU movie, nothing. Just a bunch of Disney and Pixar stuff. So Jurassic Park might actually have a shot at doing super well. Granted, if the film gets people to come out and see it, because if it's not that great or even mediocre, there's not going to be people that are going to watch the film. Right now, I'm actually working on a recut of Jurassic World Dominion myself because I think that if the film was reorganized in a stronger way, it could actually be viewed as a much more Jurassic Park sort of experience. I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest film ever made. I didn't like the film when it came out, and I know a lot of people share my opinions on it, but I'm still trying to make this chapter of the whole franchise more palatable for people like myself to just have a good time with. My version is being worked on from a cut by my friend Jack Ewens from Pterodome 3000, and it actually starts with Battle at Big Rock, the short film. It goes into some of the dino tracker material to actually make you feel like the animals are a threat on the mainland before cutting straight to Owen rounding up the parasaurs. I cut a lot of stuff out. I rearranged a lot of the film to flow more fast and aggressive while also trying to cut out some of the parts of humor that felt too silly. No more sliding into DMs, no more of that. Like, I'm also just trying to make the dinosaurs feel like a big presence and threat in Jurassic World Dominion. Hopefully it turns out well. If it's good enough, I might be like, hey guys, like there's this thing that maybe you'll watch someday and get some enjoyment out of Jurassic Park 6, but maybe not. We're gonna find out eventually, but Jurassic World Rebirth sequel, hopefully they get themselves together and just make something truly great. I'd love to see more video games. I would love to see Jurassic Park actually reestablish itself and dominance. I mean, I hope it wins an Oscar. I hope it wins the box office. I hope it wins people actually saying, hey, it was great this time around. But that's just my own thoughts and opinions. What do you guys think? What do you think the next Jurassic World sequel will be like? What do you think a TV series could be? Video games? What do you think of the competition they're about to face? And also, what do you think about Jurassic World Dominion being the most expensive film ever made? If you're interested in checking out the cut of the film that I want to make, like, let me know in the comments down below. I'm out here trying, guys. But look, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be on the subject matter, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video. And as always, take it easy.